Hey, Status Steve, please like and subscribe. Please do subscribe. It takes about 2 seconds. You click on the little icon for the deck heroes, and then you click subscribe, and then you bish bosh bush, and you don't miss any amazing content and the lols and everything. I've gone to the lab on this video, getting back to it. It's a video on Belisarius Prime. I've already done the in-depth video talking about active skills and passive skills. This one will focus on the active skills, mainly because that will be the reason why you do choose it or not. It's got significant single attack damage, 2400, but we're really here for this rage debuff, aren't we, of up to 300. 300 for if the target is surrounded, only up to 100 if it's a 1v1. Let's get to it. I'm going to compare Belisarius, as I do with all my commander videos, with the best commander in the game, which is Guan YU. I'm going to remove equipment. I'm also going to remove accessories because they're kind of probability based, which, you know, say if you've got a rage accessory, you know, does it fire, does it not fire? We don't know. It just confuses things. It's not part of this equation. Right, so Guan YU, if his skill fires first, Guan YU wins. Why? Because his active skill would do the 2000 damage and the silence, and if silenced, Belisarius does not do 2400 damage, and he does not do a rage debuff. Guan wins. Guan would win against Belisarius or anybody else, all things equal, no equipment, no accessories, in my point of view. We flip that, and Belisarius triggers first, which brings us, actually, before I go there, I'm going to have to talk about the rage tree, because the clue is in what they said. We've got to look at the talent tree, because I looked at the talent tree and it's exactly the same as Lancelot. With the cavalry down the left hand side it's quite strong, but down the right hand side there's a lot of mobility, and there's even that mobility arm to the tree. Mobility is weak source, as I've said many times. They can be very mobile, get to me very quick, but if I am maximizing my attack, defense and health, by the time they run to me quickly, they're just going to get the pain, and I'm going to get the kills. And versatility is just all about kind of resource gathering and just things not directly relevant to cavalry and significantly weak, aka the inference is to use him as a secondary. But if he's not primary, then he will never ever trigger rage first, right? But let's just say that he did trigger rage first with that proviso, because there's, as I say, the established first theories are that he has to be secondary. I will still use him as secondary no matter what I'm about to say, right? But there's a case to make him primary, which I'm just about to make. Okay, so if Belisarius is primary, and his rage triggers first, then what would happen is Guan YU or whoever he's against, okay, Guan YU would suffer the 2400 damage and the 100 debuff, aka Belisarius' active skill would reach completion. There's going to be no deception effects because he's not surrounded. After that, Guan YU or whoever's on the other side of this 1v1, they need some time to make up that 100 rage. It's not going to take them forever, but as I said, there's a highly likely that Belisarius' skill has reached completion. Then by the time Guan YU's skill has triggered, Belisarius has probably got, what, 900, 800, 700 more to go in order to be anywhere near his active skill, aka Guan YU's silence is completely ineffective. It just doesn't matter at all, because it is nowhere near the active skill. And every single other round, not only is Belisarius' skill triggering more often, but it's pushing the the time that it's going to take for Guan YU's skill to trigger in relation to, you know, Belisarius' skill to trigger. All that to say this: Belisarius wins. Active skill triggers more often than Guan's. Guan's silence doesn't overlap often enough with Belisarius' active skill. Belisarius wins. If I broaden this out to the group battle, it's exactly the same. Or very similar, in as much as if it's 2v2, Belisarius plus any other commander, via Guan Yu and any other commander. If Guan Yu triggers first with his silencing area of effect damage, Guan Yu wins. His active skill triggers his partner's active skill triggers. On our side, our active skill will either not trigger or not trigger often enough for Guan Yu not to win, aka the why he's the big boss man. If we flip that and Belisarius skill triggers first, and Guan Yu is now surrounded, aka now he gets the deception effect in addition to the 100 rage debuff, otherwise known as a 300 rage debuff. Not only do we still get the chance that Guan Yu's skill triggers during the time when our active skill is still building, we're still getting back up to 1000 rage, we might only be at about 300 rage or 400 rage. Guan's skill can trigger and have no effect at all, as I say, because it doesn't affect our active skill at that time of the cycle. All that to say this, Belisarius would have a chance, he has a likely chance to significantly damage and probably beat a Guan Yu pairing. Probably. All that to say this, when Belisarius is released, my plan, surprise, surprise, from this little kind of scenario, Guan Yu primary, Scipio secondary, because that little combo is just the best, for me, best in game. But in my second army, I would always and will always have a Belisarius, and he will be my principal priority, my principal target priority to get maxed ASAP. I'm comfortable if Guan is primary on my first army for Belisarius to be secondary on my second army. And of course I'll have third and fourth armies with Zhu Liang and maybe Lu Che and everyone else. But Belisarius will definitely be in my second army, and I believe he'll be in most Wales second army. Not that I'm a Whale, and I'm not part of the Wales Union, the Wales Federation, and we're not just one head or whatever. But I'm definitely endgame. I've been in it 5 years, so I've got an opinion. I think he's going to feature heavily, and maybe if I've got Belisarius secondary in my second army, Nevsky primary, or Joan of Arc. I really like her kind of rage engine in itself. I think Nevsky is probably current meta, another single attack damage commander. Either way, listen, definitely having Belisarius. There are definite scenarios where he significantly contributes to your battle plans, and probably the battle statistics going forwards is changing the game. There was some, I'm going to broaden, that's my end of my little video. I saw other videos talking about disappointment with Belisarius, that he's single attack damage and not area of effect. I think ROK have been very deliberate about this. I think that would break the game, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, it'd just be even better if he has area effects, of course, but already I think he does a lot, and he's going to have a lot of influence on battle. That's why they gave him the talent tree that they did. They have to kind of, rein that power in. Potentially this 50 rage every other second. Again, that's why they had to rein the power in, making that deception effect based on, at least one additional criteria. Again, they had to control the kind of impact he's going to have on game, but still absolutely stellar enough. I think they got it more or less around about right. We will see. I did see another video talking about Belisarius as a rally commander. Long story short, I don't recommend it. You won't listen, there's better rally commanders out there, and it's not going to be Belisarius. At best, say you rally in a city, that rally is going to have to tank, which means that he's doing single, there's no deception effects, basically. There's no surround. And most definitely that's the best matter, because most commanders, most of the decent Garrison commanders, easy for me to say, most of the decent Garrison commanders would do such mass death to anybody that dares to try and surround them, especially if they got like me, like 5-6 million troops. You're not going to win in those trade-offs at best to get this deception effect and the additional 200 rage debuff. You'd have to wait until that target is damn near dead already, and that's not reason enough to have Belisarius as your rally commander. You're never going to use him to rally forts for the similar reason that it's impossible to surround the fort, so you'd only really be using him for that 100 rage debuff and the 2400 active skill. Nah, there's better rally commanders than Belisarius. In summary, that's not the one. It's still amazing commander. I'm still going to get him. It's going to be for melee damage, basically PvP, player via player. I did see another video talking about Belisarius as a Garrison commander, but it's a similar problem. Just long story short, you'll never do it. Never do it. When you look at that deception effect, it's based on the target being surrounded. Obviously, if somebody's trying to if somebody's zeroing you, they're surrounding you, you're not surrounding them. And similar to the rally scenario, you're not going to choose Belisarius just to do 100 rage debuff on one target. It's just way better Garrison commanders, and the whole mechanics of a good Garrison commander is mostly about the counter-attack. So yeah, on one hand, fair enough, say if you did use Belisarius, you're doing 2,400 active damage. But if you've got 5 million troops, 6 million troops, 2 million troops, whatever it is, and you're up against a 1 million rally, that 1 million rally is going to be more hurt, hurt the feelings, by the counter-attack that you're doing from those 5 million troops. Or whatever troop number is far in excess of their rally. You know what I mean? Especially if then you do go into equipment and accessories and things like that. So, again, that's not going to be swayed by Belisarius doing what would be 100 rage debuff and 2,400 damage. Boo-hoo. That's it. Please like and subscribe. I'm interested to know your comments as well, and you know, whether on the one side, whether you agree, or with these additional benefits of Belisarius that I may have missed. If you can put those in the comments, nice and brief, that'd be great. And on the other side, if you think, nah, Steve, you're going down the wrong track, I want to save you your gold heads, don't even bother. You know what I mean? And you say, I don't think Belisarius is going to cut it because, you know what I mean, just to flesh it out a little bit. I mean, it might be something like, you know, Joan Prime is actually a better commander because although Belisarius increases the rage threshold for the target, Joan of Arc works by reducing the rage threshold for herself, and therefore she's in full control. And I don't know, well, Nevsky does more damage, and you know, it's just better on field from whatever it is. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know. Nice and positive, because we all enjoy the game. That is Steve, and I'm out.